Okay. Hi everyone, it's Lauri. I am back again for another video, another one of the incredible tarot tags that have been going around. And with me again is Gracie, my lovely daughter. Say hello, Gracie.
Hello, Gracie.
So the tarot tag that we're going to do today first is all about Rider-Waite Smith.
Hashtag all about RWS. It's from RaggedPoet and TwoSpirit.
RaggedPoet and TwoSpirit. We're kind of late on the bandwagon for this one, but that's just how we roll this month.
Yeah,
Life's
really
been crazy.
busy.
Yeah, it's been really busy. Gracie's finishing high school.
Yep.
Graduating from high school.
Yep, just graduated, so.
Okay, so I guess we should get started.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. First question is, what's your favorite Rider-Waite Smith clone and why? That's the wrong one.
You know what? Should we talk about our opinion on the word clone versus the word system?
Sure. We could also talk about the fact that we say Smith-Waite rather than Rider-Waite or
Okay,
RWS.
you do that.
Okay. So the reason we tend to say Smith-Waite rather than Rider-Waite Smith or
And we didn't
Rider-Waite.
think this up ourselves.
No, this wasn't ours.
We stole it.
We stole it. Mm-hmm. When we found out at least when I found out the history behind Rider-Waite Smith and found out that Pamela Coleman Smith, who is mentioned last in RWS and was the person who actually made the now very well-known artwork for the decks.
Pixie Smith.
Pixie Smith, whose picture I keep on my bedside table.
She does. But anyway, we say Smith-Waite.
Smith-Waite just because we think Pamela Coleman Smith deserves the credit, a lot more of the credit
Top
that
billing.
she gets.
She deserves top billing.
Especially considering the time period that she was doing all this in.
Absolutely.
So,
And like, what's a Smith-Waite clone versus the Smith-Waite system? I mean, I think a clone is like the Radiant. This is the Radiant Rider. Whatever. It is Radiant Rider, I think. I think this is a clone where somebody redrew it. They didn't take Pixie Smith's original drawings, like in the Centennial. We're woefully unprepared for this.
we are.
Apologies.
Oh, well.
So like, these are Pixie Smith's original. And again, I'm sorry, when we have two people in this, we have to be so far from our camera because it's an old, it's an old
Video
camera for filming kids at ballet and stuff like that. And so I think this is a clone. Like, I think this is a clone.
Yeah, because it's just redrawing of the
Yeah.
artwork.
Okay, that's fine. You can call it, you can do it any way you like. I mean, there's no rules.
There is no rules.
No.
My personal favorite clone is the Morgan Greer Tarot. I really connect with the artwork. When I first started reading tarot, which was only last August.
Yeah.
And so the Morgan Greer, as you can see, I just love the art style a lot more, especially without the borders. I didn't have to trim this or anything. It spoke to me a lot more. This was actually your deck that I think I stole.
I gave it to you.
So, yeah, I just really connect with the artwork. It feels more open and more accessible to me than the original.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite is the Centennial. I have it in a tin. Because I like the colors, I like the way it looks old-fashioned, and I like everything about it. And everybody has seen the Centennial, so I probably don't need to show it. I did edge mine in linen. What is that? Jim Holt's Distressed Antique Linen or something like that, because it just made the whole thing feel really kind of antique-y. I love this little itty-bitty size because at the moment my hands are causing some problems for me, and if I had to work with big giant cards, I'm not sure that I could actually work regularly with them. So that's my favorite. Don't mean to be a bummer. Centennial. The Centennial. 2. What is your life path card and how do you relate to it?
Okay, I appreciated TwoSpirit putting in the directions on how to find your life path number because I didn't know, and I don't know if I did it right regardless.
Oh, that's okay.
I think mine is 6.
Okay.
if I'm adding all the numbers right, which would be the Lovers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the duality, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Higher nature and lower nature, and that really works because I am a Gemini. I always joke that I'm two-faced, so...
Yes, that does work for you.
Yeah, actually, I
does.
think if I worked a little bit more with it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I would, like, start to feel a bit more connection with it. Who knows?
Okay. Well, my life path card is the Tower. Do you want to hold it up?
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm going to read something really cool. And this is from the book Spiritual Tarot by, I think it's Signe, S-I-G-N-E, Eccles, E-C-H-O-L-S. Anyway. And I first heard about this book from Althena the Country Crone, whose channel we watch all the time. But I think about Rapunzel trapped up in the tower and she couldn't escape. And she didn't think there was a way out. And so in the Tower card, you actually have, fire coming down from heaven, like enlightenment or like spirit or like God coming down and cracking this tower and knocking it completely away so that the person who was trapped in the tower could get out. And, a lot of times you see in these pictures people falling out. And actually, I don't know, if you're trapped in a tower, any way out is better than being in, I think. But there's something really neat that the author says here in the book. And he says, in its most positive sense, the tower reflects the ability to go our own way. I was going to sing. Follow our own direction, possibly even defy social conventions or other organized traditions and make it work for us. Tower people have strong character and they often need it for the ups and downs in their lives. I love that. Delusions are overthrown, old notions are upset, false conceptions are destroyed as we learn the contents of our shadow. And in some cases, we learn things like the contents of shadow from our ancestors or generational shadows that get passed on. And when we don't question them, we become them. But in this tower place, I feel like a tower person like me, this is me, I question that stuff that was passed on, and I stop it and I end it, and it doesn't go, dysfunction or whatever kind of things that happen in family shadow stops. It doesn't go any farther. And so I do actually really resonate with being the tower person. I'm okay with that. I mean, it means disruption and chaos and all kinds of stuff. But then going forward from there, it means no more delusion, no more lies. And everything that you have is built on truth, and it's built on healthy everything. So that's
Nice.
Thank you. Okay, so question number 3, your favorite major and your favorite minor. So I'm going to keep using the radiant because I think it shows up really well, especially since I'm so far away. So my favorite major for a long time has been the star, and I think it's still my favorite major. I love it. I love that the star card. It's important to me that it's nighttime. A lot of star cards, it's not nighttime, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's nighttime. I like that she's naked and she's in the woods, and in some of the cards she's got like little animal friends with her. And what is the moon garden? Is there a Terror of the Moon Garden, something like that?
That sounds right.
She's got all these little animal friends and fireflies and things like that. I don't have that tarot deck, but I love that card. So I love the star, and she's just who she is under the stars, and I really love that. And then my favorite minor is the one I get most of the time. I get this card constantly. It's not my stalker card, it's just my card that shows up for me a lot, and it's the 8 of Pentacles. And it's, the card of the hard worker who's working, doing all his stuff. There's one, we don't have it. I think it's called the Witch's Tarot, and she's making these beautiful, like, gorgeous plates, like they're brass plates.
I think I've seen that.
I think. And she's sitting in a castle, and I love that one. That's gorgeous. I don't have that either, but that's okay. All right, so fire away. What, Gracie, is your favorite major and your favorite minor? I know we've got allergy stuff going on.
So my favorite major is, especially this is the deck that I'm using, is what deck is this? I'm sorry.
Line Strider.
Thank you. I don't know who it's by.
Yeah, it's by Thompson. Silo Thompson?
It was my first tarot deck that I ever bought.
Gorgeous.
Very first. I like it because I like the watercolors of it. It's just a really, really pretty deck. I find it easy to read. So my favorite major is the Hermit. I love the Hermit, especially in this deck because he's a bear. I just think that's really cute. With a little lamp around his neck.
Oh.
I really like the Hermit symbolism that he's the light in the darkness.
Yeah.
And sort of like I would say the lonely traveler, but it's not, he isn't lonely. Other people see them sort of as a lonely traveler, just the one person just, on their own with their lamp. But they're not necessarily actually lonely. They could be very much enjoying their solitude.
Introverts.
That's me.
That's me. Why are we doing videos?
Actually,
Actually, videos are really... there are so many people who are introverts who do videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. It's like a way of... It's not that we don't want to reach out and connect with other people.
But it's the way of
It's
doing it
just
without
like-
it being emotionally draining.
Yeah, and I think actually Tom Benjamin talked about this. It's more about how you
Recharge
your
than
battery
whether or not you like people.
than whether or not you like people. Because I think if you just don't like people, that might be more antisocial than introverted.
Because I see it as, how do you recharge? Do you recharge being around people,
Yes.
or do you recharge by yourself?
Right.
So I'm not sure how you could both recharge around people.
And we are both
alone.
INFJs.
Mm-hmm. They only make up 1% of the population, and I think we know about 6 other
We
people
do.
who are INFJs.
We do. And I think the tarot community is populated by a lot of INFJs. I just think they tend to find one another magnetically.
Yes,
It's like a little honing,
like a little beacon.
a beacon.
So,
Sorry about
that's
that.
okay.
Off the subject.
Diversion. Back on the path.
Back on the path.
My favorite minor card is the 3 of Cups. It's love. It's a party.
Woohoo!
I love it. I like just the happiness, the connection. I especially like in most decks the very feminine energy that surrounds the 3 of Cups.
Mhm.
Mostly it's like 3 ladies all dancing and having fun. And I kind of like that.
Because that's us.
Yeah.
You and me
And Gabby.
and my other daughter who never appears on film. She's a librarian.
She's a vampire.
She's been here all the time. She just doesn't ever show up in photos.
Yeah.
No. She's a librarian.
Because we choose to pretend she doesn't. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Do you prefer Rider-Waite system over others? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, I'll have a short answer for this. I've never used any other system of tarot. I have used other systems of divination cards or oracle cards.
What about
but not tarot, so I...
Wild Unknown? I
can't
don't
say.
think is Rider-Waite. I don't think it is. I think it's its own. Oops.
Isn't it?
I don't think it is. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I thought it was its own, but I mean, I guess they mean like Toth or
I don't know.
what's the other one?
Well, I've been reading it as Rider-Waite, so I don't know if that
Tarot de
changes
Marseille.
anything.
You know,
I've
something
never,
like that.
I've never used either of those. I've only ever used
Okay.
Smith-Waite, so I can't say
Hey,
anything.
no, I think it's great. I think it's a great system. I mean, it's like a gateway. You know, it gives you
A gateway drug.
it gives you an easy in to learning tarot. It gives you a system and numerology and symbolism
I think
and
there's a lot to get out of it. It's
and
very rich.
archetypes, and there's just so much that you can really get to kind of form a base, and then I think those things help to develop your intuition as you connect with the cards. What card is currently stalking you? The card that's currently stalking me is the 3 of Cups.
Oh.
I am not gonna be able to get close enough. Yeah, it shows up in like a couple of times a week. I just don't think I'm partying enough.
Oh, we need to go party.
I need to socialize more
Have
or
fun.
have fun more because I'm not gonna socialize. You know, like out and socialize.
Mhm.
But I think I probably need to lighten up a little bit more and have a little bit more fun.
Yeah, lighten up, Mom.
Lighten up. All right, what card's stalking you?
I have been slacking on my daily draws, so
Mhm.
I can't really say one that's been stalking me recently. It's been a couple weeks since I really did any readings for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Bad tarot reader.
That's all right. You fall off the wagon.
But I think if I had to say one that was
Hop
stalking
back
me
on.
a lot recently it's probably the devil. Not sure why.
That's okay.
Binding, I
Devil
guess.
card's a cool card.
Yeah, I kind of, if I'm reading it, Smith-Waite sort of, binding, stuck in your own head, I've definitely felt that recently. I think I do limit myself.
Mhm.
And I think I often believe my thought pattern defines me.
Okay, that's all right. 6 cards you look for first in any style deck. Make or break cards. We talked about this before.
We did.
Go-
And my
go
answer
ahead.
is still the same. The Tower, the Devil, and the Lovers. Be around romance and sex and that sort of thing. So I think people get way too
Like a little naughty.
yeah, I think people can get like ooh sort of about it.
Yeah.
And it's like those cards don't necessarily mean those.
You like them to sort of mean higher things.
They kind of I think they kind of mean everything. I think they do relate to that. Like
Oh, everybody's got their own taste. Everybody's got their own taste. I tend to look at the Ten of Swords just to kind of see what it looks like. It's not a make or break for me really, because I still have the Wild Unknown, and that is really to me like the most difficult Ten of Swords. Seriously, it's ooh. I mean, if you know it, it's like a bullfight bull, and there's a sword through the eyes, and it is ooh.
Will you show it?
You can show it, I guess. People can look away if they don't want to see it. I mean, that is just,
it's gone now.
that's harsh. That is a harsh card. And so I do tend to like to look at that. And then a lot of times I look at the Eight of Swords. Because for me, I think it's important in the Eight of Swords that the person, usually it's a woman, but whoever it is, that the way she's trapped in the Eight of Swords is that she's trapped more in her own mind than she is in the physical world. And that if we just took the blindfold off, we would actually see that our bindings are loose and that we've got, 8 swords,
Yeah.
which is pretty weaponized.
As you can see,
Yeah.
people do. No, that's the Lion Strider Tarot. People do tend to portray.
Ooh, okay, you can show that one. That's the Ten of Swords and the Lion Strider.
Gore warning.
Gore warning, more dead animals.
Or dead animals. I'm sorry. But that's the Lion Strider, the Ten of Swords and the Lion Strider Tarot. Okay, it's gone now.
I kind of like it when it looks like something's come to an end, but then something else is beginning again. So I like if there's some element of this is done and it's beginning again. Because if you don't think of it as a person, if you think of it as something really unpleasant, like an unpleasant time in your life, or an unpleasant relationship or an unpleasant job, and you're like, no, that thing is. I was like in Buffy, when they would dust.
Stake the vampires?
They'd stake the vampires and they'd like turn them to dust. Didn't they say dust them or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's like, no, that's dusted. That job is like done and dusted. So that's kind of empowering and
Yeah.
fun to move on from that. But there needs to be that moving on element.
And less of the
Just dead element.
you're stabbed in the back and now you're dead.
Now
There's
you're
the
dead.
one tarot that we saw, and I don't know what it was, but it was based on the Smith-Waite it's sort of a Smith-Waite clone. They were slightly redrawn. And I remember the Ten of Swords is a person lying on the ground looking quite deceased. With swords sticking out of him, and then there's someone above swinging another sword.
Oh yeah,
Which
actually
was an
that's Tarot Muha.
Which is a very interesting take on it, because it's, are you the person who's lying on the
Yes.
ground being stabbed, or are you the person doing the stabbing?
That's what I think in that card. What's dead and what's done the
deed.
the deed. What's done it? What's done it?
Who's done it?
All right, your first and your last Rider-Waite Smith.
Well, my first is the one I've already shown. No, because does the Lion Strider count? That was my first ever tarot. Well, it would be the Morgan Greer, I think, is my first
Okay.
technical.
This is
Rider-Waite
this
Smith.
is my first one, and it's almost kind of my favorite, but I didn't want to show it twice. So, and this is my Albano Waite. This is a very vintage, used, old one. It's not new. See, this is for TwoSpirit. Look, my
backs aren't
my backs aren't my backs are crooked. My back's crooked. Almost all of them, the backs are
center.
off. They're just, there's actually almost none of them that the backs are straight or centered. And whatever, it bothers me a little bit, and so I chopped the borders off mine, and I like it much better this way. It was getting a bit grubby actually anyway, because it's old. And so now it's nice and small, and I can take it with me. So this is my bag deck that I keep in my my bag.
Hey. So, my most recent Smith Waite. I think it's this one. Now this, it's not technically classified as Smith Waite. I don't think it's advertised as Smith Waite, but reading the little white book, it has all the same meanings.
I think it is, yeah.
So it's this Tarot of the Complete Kit. It's adorable. It's a tiny little box. And I took the cards out, but you can open it up. It's got a little magnetic closure, and it has the book slipped in here, and then you put the cards in there, and it's kind of like party tarot. It's fun.
Yeah.
And I edged these cards because they didn't come edged, so I edged them in black.
Can you get closer? Because it's really pretty.
So there's the backs of the cards, there's the edging that I did, because almost all of the cards, like the main color is black. Excuse me, and
You didn't trim those.
nope, they came
That's
that
how
way.
little they are. You should hold them up so people can see them. That's okay.
And all the corners are different colors depending on what suit they are and whether they're the major arcana.
Mhm.
So, and this deck, even though, as you can see, it's not like there's the Two of Swords, it's not like classic imagery, it's a little bit pippish. It's kind of a pip deck.
Is it a pip deck?
It's kind of a little bit of a pip deck in some of the cards, I think. Or maybe not.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm afraid to say now because I get it wrong.
I haven't worked very much with this deck, but the little white book is all the Rider-Waite Smith meanings. So there's the Ten of Swords. Look, that's no gore.
And my latest,
He almost looks content, which is a bit confusing.
maybe it's like acupuncture, and he's just getting all his chi going in the right direction.
So yeah.
So my most recent, my most recent Rider-Waite Smith system deck is a Aquarian Tarot. This is a big full-sized vintage Aquarian Tarot. It came in a black box with the lift-off lid, and this is it. And it's got those pretty backs. And I really, really love it. I really wanted a vintage one because I have my little one. I have my little one in a tin, which I love. And then I happened to see this, and it was a really good price. So that's my most recent one. Okay. How many Rider-Waite Smith decks do you have?
I'm counting the ones that I considered to be based on
Okay.
the system, even though now I feel like maybe I'm wrong in that. It was 9.
Oh.
But I don't
See,
know
I'm
now.
only counting the one that say, like, Smith Waite or Morgan Greer or Aquarian. I counted the Vanessa Tarot in that because I think the Vanessa Tarot counts. And I think I said 8 or 10.
Yeah, I think my number's probably
So
a
I
lot
think
less, maybe
your
only
number-
5.
I think your number
but,
probably is less.
I don't really know.
Yeah. So are you a by the book reader or an intuitive reader?
You can go first.
Oh, okay. So, well, I started out using keywords to kind of, as an inroad. And then I kind of discovered after a while that using keywords first, sometimes it would help. Like, so, you know, if I pick a card and it's the 2, okay, of Pentacles here. And I would be like, okay, 2 of Pentacles, so balance. Balance in what? You know, or 2 things, duality. Duality in what? In money or job. Balancing things like my money and my job. And so kind of as I would start to talk my way through it, it would kind of help me maybe get where I was going. And then one of the things that I noticed as I have progressed through this course that I have been taking over the past year, that if I start with the keywords, unless I'm really lost or drawing a blank, if I start with keywords, then it kind of inhibits my intuition. So kind of what I do a little bit more now is just kind of take a deep breath, take a look at everything, see what I see, hear kind of the voice that comes in first and that thought before the thought. So I'm doing a lot more intuitive reading lately. But either way, I think they're okay.
I'm very much a by the book reader. I haven't really developed my intuition enough, I think, to really trust it, as it
You've
were.
done some really nice intuitive readings for me.
I have. I don't know. I usually, when I'm reading for myself, read by the book. So, I don't really read.
It's
for
hard to
people.
read for yourself, isn't it?
Mhm.
There's a lot of baggage and things like that involved, and
Yeah.
it's very difficult to not be invested in whatever the outcome is. So it is hard for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard for people who've been reading for 30 years to read for themselves, so.
Okay. And how do you feel about the proliferation of Rider-Waite-Smith style decks? Good or bad? Are there too many?
Oh, me?
Yes.
No, I don't think there's too many. How can there be too many? I mean, if there's too many, if there's one I don't like,
Don't buy it.
I just don't buy it. That actually happened to me. This week there was one that I was pretty convinced I was probably going to pick up, and then I saw the walkthrough on it, and I'm not going to name any names, but I saw a video flip through, and I went, I think I'm actually going to pass on this one. Not that there was something I didn't like about it, I just didn't, I didn't feel like it offered me anything that I didn't already have. But I don't think there's anything wrong with there being a lot of them. It's great. Because they're going to reach somebody.
Yeah. Ditto. I have no other answer.
You think the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Awesome.
How can there be too many tarot decks?
How can there be?
It's like saying there are too many flowers.
Too many cats.
We could have too many cats.
Well, I mean, in the world, on the whole.
You could go to a place and think, wow, this is like too many cats. No?
I don't think so.
Okay. Final question. No! We're
Yeah.
done.
Yes.
No, we're not done.
Draw a card for your favorite deck and ask, what do I need to learn right now?
Yeah. So, do you want to pick a card for me and I'll pick a card for you? That's always
Sure.
fun when we do that.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Sitting on leather stools and my skin is sticking to the stools.
Oh, I'm sorry. So my current favorite deck is my vintage. So should I ask, what does Gracie need to learn right now?
Sure. I'm going to use the Morgan Greer because I'm not sure anymore what's Rider-Waite-Smith. Everything is being questioned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
This
okay.
wasn't really.
I just feel woefully
This is-
unprepared.
This is shaking your whole world.
Ah!
No, that's
No,
all
it's
right.
fine. It's really fine.
It really is fine. We'll have some lunch. We'll be okay. We'll be
Yeah.
good. All right. What does Gracie need to learn right now? Hopefully this is not like super uber personal. We'll see.
Although I've had those before.
We have not on
No,
camera?
on camera yet. No.
Not yet. We may be. I'm working on the Kelly Truth and Story split technique. What does Gracie need to learn right now? Oh.
My favorite, actually that's one of my favorite cards though.
Did you say this was the one that was stalking you? Or this was one
No,
that's
that
your
was the
favorite?
devil. No, the devil's been stalking me.
So the death
Satan.
card. Time for something to end so something better can begin.
Well, I'm going to be applying to college this week, so that's it.
Yeah.
Goodbye homeschooling. Goodbye freedom. No. But it is kind of like I'm going to be moving towards like driver's license and college and all that stuff. I'm not moving away to college though.
The
Which is the
end
question
of
everyone
your,
asks me. I'm staying right where I am.
the end
I
of
got it good.
the end of your free and easy childhood.
Yeah, one last summer. One last hurrah.
All right. What do I need to know?
What do you need to know right now?
What do I need to learn right now?
What do you need to learn? Oh my goodness. See if I can do a jumping card. Oh, that was a lot of
Ooh,
jumping
that's
cards.
too many jumping cards.
Just one Morgan Greer, just one.
And yeah.
So this one came out on top of the pile that I shoved back in, then started
Yeah.
reshuffling. So, the Chariot. Time to harness your will. Relay into your higher nature and nature. You gotta be that Chariot guy.
Take the reins and go.
Go somewhere awesome. Go somewhere awesome with your horses. Sometimes they're sphinxes, but these times they're
Let's
horses.
go somewhere awesome.
Oh yeah. We're going somewhere this summer.
Yes. Okay, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And that's it. Bye.
Bye.